Good evening all. Wild Weather here for LiveWeatherBlogs.com with a 9 o'clock update on newly formed Tropical Storm Ernesto. This is from NOAA. And Ernesto, as of 8 p.m. Atlantic Standard Time, Central Atlantic, maximum sustained winds were at 45 knots, which is 50 miles per hour. Now the barometric pressure has come down 1 millibar from 1,006 millibars at 5 p.m. Located at 13.3 north and 57.4 west, and it's moving west at 22 miles per hour. We're really ripping along here into the west. And we'll see what happens with Ernesto here in the coming days. Right now, it's entering some pretty hostile environment. A lot of dry air off to its north and west. Also, a little bit of shear coming in from the southwest here. So we'll see how Ernesto fares as he moves over in this general direction in the coming days. Some of the models in about a week, about this time next week, will have it. Some going into the Yucatan. So if you have vacation plans here near Belize or Cancun and Cozumel, Playa del Carmen in Mexico, you just want to keep it tuned here to liveweatherblogs.com and check it out maybe every other day or so as Ernesto approaches. Right now, it's still very unclear as to whether Ernesto is even able to hold together as it moves through this portion of the Caribbean due to all the dry air and shear. The GFS shows a formidable hurricane at times moving into the Gulf and kind of clipping the northeast Yucatan, while other models such as the Euro shows a much weaker, subdued system, just kind of lollygagging and moving into the Belize area and just north of there. So we'll see what happens in the coming days. In the meantime, it's on the map. You know, your fifth tropical named storm of the year, Ernesto, sitting not too far right now from Barbados and moving off to the west. Here's a look at the Rainbow satellite. I've plotted the points of the National Hurricane Center on the Rainbow satellite. There's a Caribbean Rainbow satellite, and you can see the convection starting to flare up here a little bit, but you get the idea that there's a lot of dry air on this side of the storm, some dry air being pulled in from the north. You have an upper level low up in this area kind of doing a little bit of shear. And I'll show you the water vapor map that shows the dry air and shear even better. But here's the official track of the National Hurricane Center bringing through the Central Caribbean, and even gets to about a Category 1 hurricane just south and west of the Jamaica area. Here's Jamaica, and then moving in the general direction. Here's Cozumel right here, this little island here, in this direction here. So, you know, if you have plans again along the Yucatan coming up in the next 10 days of vacation, you keep an idea, keep abreast of the situation, and keep it here to liveweatherblogs.com for further development and for further developments and or any changes in track and speed. This is from hamweather.com, and here's just another look at satellite of the storm sitting here just to the east at this point of Barbados. You get the idea. It's a very ragged looking system. We'll see how this goes in the next couple of days. It may even be downgraded to to a depression in time, depending on what exactly is going to be going on here. It wouldn't shock me at all. I was kind of surprised that it made it to tropical storm status today, looking at this raggedness of the storm. Off to its east is yet another little circulation here we'll have to take a look at down the road. Let's take it one at a time here, though. We'll take it Ernesto, and we'll see what happens with this out here. The GFS, a few runs in a row now, looking down the road, showing increased tropical activity out here in the tropical Atlantic, and we'll see with the developing El Nino, we'll see how the shear works out with the systems and go from there. Down the road, if it does get into the Gulf of Mexico, we'll have to deal with how it's steered by this huge upper ridge out here. As you can see, it's been sitting out here for some time, and you know, if Ernesto does indeed make it up into this part of the Gulf, you're down here in Texas in the Mexico area. We'll have to wait and see, but you get the idea. You know, the clockwise flow around high pressure, you get the idea where Ernesto would probably most likely head, whether it be Texas, Louisiana, or Mexico. It's just way too early to say. We'll see if it even makes it across here, but it should. So we'll see what happens with that. This is the water vapor map. This is the last thing I want to leave you with this evening. This is a 24-hour loop of the water vapor map here, and this is hamweather.com. Here's a storm down here, and you really get the idea. It's really having a tough time right now. You got some westerly shears noted by these clouds coming off from the north, is from the west here around this upper level low, and then you got a lot of dry air all the way into the central Caribbean. So it's got quite an obstacle in front of it. So we'll see what happens. As of right now, here it is. Latest. This is weatherunderground.com. Winds of 50 miles per hour, 65 mile per hour wind gusts moving west at 21. Pressure down a tick, 1 millibar to 1005, which was 2971. Now it's 2967. So kind of just holding its own, folks, and it wouldn't be shocking to me to see if this is downgraded to a depression, but in no way does that mean that if you're over here in Jamaica and you're along here, you put down your guard. This is going to eventually get into a more favorable environment over here. It's just a matter of what exactly is left. This is Wild Weather for LiveWeatherBlogs.com. Stay tuned for further updates in the next couple of days. Again, you have those vacation plans. Keep it here to LiveWeatherBlogs.com. This is Wild Weather for LiveWeatherBlogs.com.